This is for, I guess, for Joe and Ben both. As you watch those first three picks unfold, especially with the surprise pick at number 3, what were your emotions like? And did you do any scrambling before making that pick, or were you guys set all along on the guy you got?
Yeah, and I can start. I think we felt really good about the order we had the board in going into the night, and I think because of the confidence in that order, we were comfortable letting the draft come to us. Certainly, really excited that Tamar was there. Excited to make that pick, and excited to get a chance to work with him. Joe, you can add to that if you want.
Yeah, the only thing that I'd add is the players that went ahead were very talented, and as Ben said, that we ordered it up and very pleased and excited that Tamar was there for us. But very talented group in and around those first 3 selections. So nothing's a surprise when those players are that talented, but excited and very pleased that we were able to select Tamar.
This question is. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry, Patrick. Hey, Ben. We immediately got the question, and I'm sure you will too, with the number of middle infield prospects with the Pirates. Why select a middle infielder in the first pick of the draft? So why select Tamar in that position?
He was the best player on the board at 4, and that's what we're looking to do in the draft is take the best player available every time we pick and get as many good players as we can. And we know to win, we need lots of good players. We think Tamar has a chance to be one of them. So really excited about that. As Joe said, there's a lot of talent in the draft. Going into the draft, looking to get the best possible collection of players and not focused on any particular position or demographic.
I think this question is probably best for Joe, but we read a lot and heard a lot about Tamar's swing and how he's one of the best high school hitters in decades. What did you guys like so much about his offense? Just his whole profile there. What makes him special?
I think a couple things foundationally make Tamar special. How passionate he really is about his dynamics in the box, how intense and specific he is in the details about how he goes about his offensive game, I think draws us to him. We think he's going to be a learner and continue to study himself and know himself extremely well, is pretty much what he shared with us over a long period of time consistently. He likes to hit, but he knows a lot more about hitting, than some other young kids, and he's passionate about it. And we think that's going to continue. That's what we like a lot about him.
Jake, go ahead.
Hopefully my internet will hold up. It's being a little weird right now, but Ben, I was curious, Tamar defensively, you listed it as a shortstop, his natural position that he's been playing. Some experts see him possibly moving to second base. Is this one of those situations where you might, play these things out, make the determination later just because of the special nature of his bat and how well he has bat the ball skills?
Yeah, he'll go out as a shortstop. We think he can play there. Most of our middle infielders, as most of our shortstops get exposed on both sides of the bag at some point. Probably be the case for him too. Joe referenced this, but we believe in him as a defender. We think he has instincts to defend. He works hard at it. He cares about it, and he can make plays, and he can make plays on the run. He's got pretty good body control and make throws from different angles. So I think he does. We think he does a lot of good things defensively, well. He's a well-rounded player, so we'll get his career started and go out as a shortstop, and we're excited to see how he progresses.
Jeff, go ahead.
Joe, with Cherington, a former walk-on, does he have that kind of walk-on chip mentality? And what can you tell us about the things he did at Campbell?
I think mostly intelligent learner, picks up things quickly, two-sport athlete. So he definitely has, some things in his past that have allowed him to stay athletic and make some adjustments quickly on the mound, so fast. There's still so much more, for Thomas in there with some of those traits. I think he's got some natural, ability that comes to him, to this point, pretty quickly. We see that there's a lot more to tap into in many fronts with him. That's from pitches to, training to, the terrific group that we're going to hand him over to in CPD. Give him the foundation of a lot of areas Thomas, possesses. Again, most importantly, I think he's a learner. He's well made. He's very detailed oriented, and everything that he does probably comes to the forefront.
Alex, go ahead.
With Hunter, how much did the Tommy John surgery impact the decision? And I guess also just his year beforehand, because he seemed like someone that was rising up draft boards before that surgery.
Joe, you can take that.
Yeah, when you talk about Hunter, I think you hit it perfectly. Hunter's been on our radar since high school out of Jacksonville area. And he really made tremendous progress, over time with a lot of strikes, figuring out his angles and deception. The command that he's shown us before the Tommy John surgery, getting to know Hunter over that period of time. He's another one. He's very passionate about learning, done tremendous job of figuring things out and knowing who he is and how he works. We are, we factor in the injury without a question into some of the things we do. Imperfect as it may be, we definitely factor it in. That being said, there are several areas that we believe that Hunter brings to the table that align very well with what we can do in helping him going forward. We're excited to do that with him. He's met his goals. Since surgery, we've stayed close with him up until the draft, knowing where he was at, and he's excited. We're excited to work together to take him in from this point forward and mesh the two. We think he's got a really good upside with us and what we can help him with, and he brings to the table a lot of things already that serve him well on the mound, even before he got hurt.
Jason, go ahead.
Ben, with Harrington and probably Johnson as well, any idea where they might start affiliate-wise, rookie ball? Too early to tell?
Yeah, probably a little bit too early to tell. I think with any new player, we'd want to, obviously first we've got to, get through the signing process, and hopefully that goes well, and, confident it will. And then just get a sense of where they are physically and how big a gap we've got to close in terms of, since the last time they played, make sure they're in a good spot there. But, certainly with a young position player from high school, typically that starts at the complex league level, Pirate City. We'll see. I think we want to spend some time with both guys first.
Chris, go ahead.
This could be for either Ben or Joe. At number 36 and 44, both being collegiate pitchers, what was the stronger intention of? Was it like because they were both collegiate pitchers, or was it just the players that you liked at those particular spots?
I would share, as Ben aforementioned earlier, in that case as well, like we're taking the best players, try and factor in and assess a little bit the question before, like an injury is probably a little bit of a different factor in how you do factor that in. But at the end, when we do factor in, we still believe we're taking the best player, in the future in each of those cases. I think Ben mentioned earlier about demographic, and I feel like we are staying on the best players rather than demographic so far. And I think that will continue. And that's been our plan all along, being together the last couple of years.
Kevin?
I read about Hunter Barco having a low arm slot. Is that something that you liked about him, or is that something that was concerned given the injury and the surgery?
It's a good question, Kevin. I think some of the things that make him really, really, really good are going to continue forward. We can help him with some things in some areas for, potentially long-term health, but those angles and deception and life that he creates from those angles are more than likely going to continue to be a big strength for him going forward. So it's going to be a combination to bring those two together, to some extent, without the specific details, but definitely feel that what he's done and continues to do, we can help a little bit, but he's still going to be able to create, that wide deception, that wide angle, and some of the life that he creates with the command. We don't think that's going to change.
Joe, can you give us an idea of what type of a low arm slot are we talking about? Are we talking about, sidearm? Are we talking about submariner?
Oh, no, you're talking about three-quarter, low three-quarter, low three-quarter, probably three-quarter, somewhere in there.
Jeff, go ahead.
Ben, I think you touched on it briefly, but I think we were a little taken aback by the confidence that Tamar has. He's talking about being a captain and the starter and brought up Hall of Fame. What did you make of that makeup and that part of his personality?
Well, I think really good major league players usually are pretty confident. So we like hearing it. He's confident, but one of the things that struck us as we got to know him, and Joe spent more time around him than I have, but he's got a nice, I think, we think a nice combination of confidence and humility. He's a guy who's always working, always looking to get better, has worked, really hard on his defensive game. I would say from what I learned anyway through the process, probably harder than many high school kids do on the defensive side of the game. So he's a confident young man. He should be. He's talented. He was the 4th overall pick in the country. He should be confident. He needs to be confident to be a good big leaguer. But this is someone who has worked really hard too. Is humble, wants to get better every day. So